What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about OnyxCoin today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. It is the 5th day of October, and 12 hours ago, Onyx posted, get started with the new Onyx app, right? We click on the link, and it takes us here. I have to say, bravo, Onyx team. I think this is sleek. I think it's sleek. I think the last one was effective. It worked. You know, it was clean. This is sleek. This is very professional. I like how there's other things too. It says soon. We've got things to anticipate here. All kinds of things going on, you guys. It's very sleek. I like the look. They put a good job. They did a good job with the design of this, I think. Anyways, you can read the documents. You can go to all this stuff, whatever. Anyways, definitely read all this stuff before you invest in OnyxCoin. But I like the hub here. It looks great. XCN USD doing some price forecasting now. Getting into it. I very much do expect that with the launch of Goliath Testnet, with the new app ramped up, and then all these other things coming soon, I'm curious to see what the card's going to be like. Like, are we going to have an Onyx card? Is that what's? Are we going to be able to pay for things with the OnyxCoin? That's pretty damn cool. That's awesome. I'll definitely be using that. 1.125 cents. I'll have a different bag though, right? I'll have one wallet connected that is for spending, one wallet that's connected that's for staking and not spending. That's there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. I think having multiple wallets is a good thing. You have multiple points of safety, right? Fail points. I've got like, I don't even want to say how many wallets I have, but let's just say I have several OnyxCoin wallets myself. I think everybody should. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Depending on your situation, right? If you want to have it all in one wallet, that's fine, but I think multiple points of failure is a better thing than not, especially whenever you're dealing with a lot of money. Anyways, OnyxCoin's my biggest bag, so that's how a lot of people talk about diversity. We've talked about this from time to time on the channel, but just a really good point, because I know a lot of people do watch these videos. A point that I want my audience to be aware of, and I'm sure you guys are. People talk about diversity as if you need to be an OnyxCoin, Cookie, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, keep going, right? But diversity can also be, if you're holding a lot of one asset, diversify it in the amount of wallets and places that it's kept. Keep it on multiple exchanges. Keep it in multiple cold storage wallets. Don't have it all at one place, right? Depending on how you're wanting to do. If you're wanting to just sell it all, I suppose having it all in one place is good, or multiple exchanges is good. There wouldn't really be a necessity to have it in cold storage. But if you're staking, I don't think there's anything wrong with having it staked on multiple different wallets, because it's all the same. Whether you have 100% of it staked in one wallet or 25% staked in 4 different wallets, giving you a total of 100%, you're still going to get the same returns. Anyways, moving on. Just a thought there. Diversity in security, right? Right. That's always good. 1.12 cents right now. 9 hours, 42 minutes left in the day. We are chilling. We are moving sideways, which is, to be fair, a better form of movement than what we've been accustomed to since July here, and really earlier than that, right? The last time that we moved sideways, we had a sideways range like this. We did move up, which was nice to see. I am thinking that we have some kind of a double bottom setup here, but we'll see. And if that's true, this next week should be rather fruitful. Going into the end of the month, things should be really good. We'll see. I'm definitely expecting OnyxCoin to do some phenomenal things. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame. We'll zoom back out here. We'll talk about those wonderful things toward the end of the video here. Looking at the 1 hour time frame, the RSI, while it did have a nice little move here, you came all the way down. You had a nice downtrend, right? Lower highs, lower lows. Got into the oversold zone and broke out of that downtrend, didn't you? You broke out of it, and now you're in a uptrend yet again. You're looking pretty strong. Overall, I have to say you're looking pretty strong. Somewhat neutral still, but definitely stronger than you are weaker, I would say. And that's nice. It's a good turn of emotions here, turn of behavior. Stochastics look good. They look like they want to cross up here. That's nice to see. The MACD is crossing above the 0. All good things. The 4 hour time frame, if we look at this here, you did bounce, or at least at the moment you seem to be bouncing, right at prior areas of resistance here, prior support there, prior resistance here. Somewhat of a significant area. You have that appearance of stair-stepping. The stochastics are looking like they want to move up higher. I'd be bullish on these. That implies multiple days of growth, I would say. The MACD is scooping the 0. That's a beautiful look right there on the 4 hour. And then the RSI is more bullish on the 4 hour time frame than it was on the 1 hour time frame. You look like you're overall in this kind of larger pronounced movement up, and I do think we want to move to the overbought zone. So this is good. This tells me, and again, not financial advisor, not a financial advisor, but you guys, the coming days should be good, right? How good will they be? I don't know. You know, that's for us to all see, I suppose, right? From a low here to a high there, maybe we move up 31% tomorrow. maybe more. Maybe we move up 300% this week. I don't know. Not this week. This week's almost over, but next week. We look pretty damn well poised. And I want to look at this real quick before we move on. Low to high. So weird. You know, that's the second time we've done that, where we found support just below the golden ratio zone, right above the 786. It's so weird. I love the fibs. Notice this, and I don't know how to explain this. I'm going to try my best to explain this, but notice this kind of behavior. Not specifically from a low to a high that you found support at the 786 and the 69 in between there in this weird area. Not that, but just that this is the same exact circumstance that this overall low has from this low to high, where we found support literally in the exact same area. It's funny how that kind of stuff happens. Again, thinking about that going forward even, if we look at this from a high to a low, and this is why I think it's good to look back in the past, we found significance at the 2618, we found significance at the 1414, clearly at all these levels here. I would think we find significance at those levels again, right? High to low, we probably do run up all the way to $1.02 and beyond at some point, right? We probably do come back down and find support at these areas and you know, meander. We take a high to low here, we touch the 1886, we went above the 2272. You know, all these kind of things. That's why it's important sometimes to look back and see what targets on the Fibonacci extensions you hit in the past to kind of forecast the future, right? It's all relevant though. What you did back here does not necessarily imply that you're going to do the same thing here. Just it's all circumstantial. It depends. But being that we're all part of the same move, we've got this nice like double bottom here, and we've probably got a double bottom going on here as well. Slightly higher lows, slightly higher lows. It's actually it's a very similar dynamic actually. It just looks different, a little bit different. I wouldn't be surprised in the least if this move did go to $1.03 and beyond. Maybe not by the end of October, maybe by the end of the year, but probably sometime in 2026. Overall, I think we'll look back at this and it'll feel like it was all just kind of one big fell swoop of a move. But we'll see. You know, time will tell. Anyways, I very much do believe that we're going up to 26 to 32 cents. I'm not trying to say that we're going straight up to $1.03, though. That would be pretty spectacular. Imagine OnyxCoin, you guys. Everything's going well with Goliath Net, mainnet, or testnet. The mainnet comes out. OnyxCoin announces a big partnership with Amazon and X.com and Donald Trump or whatever, and this thing's worth literally a 90-something X compared to where it is now. That would be insane. Be absolutely insane. I doubt that happens. I mean, not that I doubt that it happens. It will happen at some point. Not all the partnerships, so just this price action. It's just I don't think we'll see this by the end of the year. I think that's more reserved for like Q1, Q2 times. We're going to be, I think this is our cycle ending top area, $1.03 to $2.60. Okay, in case we're not on board with the same thought here. That's my thought. This is more like end of October or potentially end of year stuff. Anyways, coming back to the daily time frame, winding it down a little bit. The RSI is weird overall, right? Strong, neutral, weak. Neutral, strong. Weak for a long, long time. Now we're neutral again. I think we're going to get to strong. I think we are going to get to strong here by the middle of this month. By the end of this next week, we should be seeing some strength come back in. So again, the thought here, it's kind of funny how our psychology does this, okay, to us. Okay, just hear me out. This is the thought that I have here, is that there are coins that don't look like this from April 11th, right? They have not dropped 61%, 63%. They're not down 58% since their April 11th highs or whatever highs. There are coins that are far more exciting than this. And this is a big part of my portfolio. I'm sure it's a part of a lot of you who are watching it. It's part of your portfolio as well. But you might be looking to put your money elsewhere because this just hasn't performed so well. You might be looking to put it in something that has performed. It's funny how our psychology works, because that's actually, to a certain degree, and whenever you have enough experience in these markets, you'll see that's actually kind of a nonsensical thing to do. It's good to put money in the winners and to keep feeding the winners. It is good to do. But the ones that are boring, the point that I'm trying to get to here is the ones that are boring are the ones that are the most primed for explosive movements, right? Like if you've been stacking Tron, TRX, since April 11th, you've been doing great, and it keeps winning. And of course you should, because it keeps winning. But what's more likely to see a 10x move between now and the end of October? It's not Tron, and not just because it has a higher market cap, but because it's kind of uncalled for, right? A 10x move, I mean, it's kind of uncalled for with the way that its dynamic is in price action, right? We're probably not going to see that. Where XCN could easily see a 10x move and beyond, especially because, not just because of the market cap, but because of how boring you've been, right? These boring coins, right? Just like this. Think back here. We have proof in the charts. Super boring. Super boring. The most boring. The most boring. And both of those times, right before you were the most boring or right after, that's whenever the big moves came. We're very, very boring right now, you guys. Very, very boring right now. People are... The trolls... You guys, the trolls are even bored. I don't get as much hate on OnyxCoin anymore. Like, there's some, and it's at a different level now than it ever was back here. But just compared to here versus where we were at the beginning of this, it's like they've gotten bored too. They've moved on. They think they've won. And some people might have think they've lost. And that's why, again, I think that this is underrepresented. They're clearly building. There's clearly things going on here. Goliath testnet came online. They have more things. The people who say things like OnyxCoin is a scam or it's nothing, it has no real world utility, you clearly don't have eyeballs and you don't look at anything. And that's okay. It's got some of the highest APR in the space. Its staking protocol is flawless. You can stake and unstake immediately, literally immediately. You can withdraw your funds immediately. It's faultless, it's flawless, and it's cheap. It's so cheap. And for what this thing aims to be and everything that it's got going on, I can't imagine that we see anything that's less than like tens of billions of dollars in market cap. Who am I to say that? This is my third bull cycle. I've seen this stuff happen before. 400 million now, a $40 billion market cap would be 100x from here. And I absolutely believe that that's attainable, even beyond that, right? It's a tall order, but this thing's got a big glass, okay? It's got a lot of fundamental momentum behind it. Anyways, I'm done buttering the bread. All in all, looking at this here, you know, if we take this from a high to a low, come on now. Put this at a high to a low here. 26 to 32 cents. There seems to be a lot of congruence in this area based off of both these fibs. Maybe we stop a little bit below. Maybe we stop a little bit above. I really wouldn't be surprised at all if by the end of the year we were dramatically higher than that. We're looking for these targets to be achieved by the end of November, or by the end of October, maybe early November, 26 to 32 cents. And if it does take until the end of the year, that's fine. That's still fine, okay? Because these cycle finale finishes, let's just look at this real quick, actually. OnyxCoin has never had a cycle finale finish, right? We've only existed really for the bear market. The ass end of the last bull market, there's a little bit more history here where we come up a little bit, but really we've just existed for the bear market. The average altcoin last cycle, let's say how much time do we have left? We had, because I'm trying to compare it to this cycle, right? Like I'm assuming the market tops off altcoins in April, May, okay? Maybe June, but April, May. It's October, this is the beginning of October now, so all the way into November, December, January, February, March. April would be 6 months, May would be 7 months, and maybe even, let's say, 6 months to 7.5 months, okay? Let's just say 6 months to 8 months left. We have 6 months to 8 months left. Now, I don't want to measure this, though we can do this, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or that's just 5 months there. Let's do this part, right? Let's just see here. Hold on. Let's take this. 6 to 8 months. So that was 6 months, 7, 8 months left, right? Right there by the cycle ending peak. And this was not during the blow off top moment. I don't think that this measurement is appropriate, but we're just going to do this anyways, just for fun, okay? Because that's 8 months back from the peak. That's 248%. What am I getting at here? 248%. If we are not at 26, sorry. If we're not at 26 to 32 cents by the end of October or early November, and instead it is the end of the year that we're up here, that's okay. Why? Because even in the lackluster ending phase here, which we're not even counting the actual voluptuous, robust alt season here, we're counting this little bit here, the last 8 months, which is 248%, or 6 months from the low. Let's just take 5 months. Screw it, 5 months from the low. 279, 248, whatever. That's a 3.5 to a 3.8x. Okay, 3.5 to 3.8x. Let's say we stop even at 20 cents. That puts us at 78 cents by the end of the cycle. 70 cents or 78 cents by the end of the cycle. And probably higher, because this doesn't really make sense to stop at. All I'm trying to say here, do you guys see the dots that I'm connecting here, is that even if it takes until the end of the year, we still have fantastic growth to be had. But that's not above $1. That's not at $2 C-Zar. Yeah, I know it's not. We're being conservative. It's still a 70x. It still outperforms the average altcoin. That's the point I'm trying to make. Now, if we're being real, because alt season here clearly has not kicked off yet. Clearly it hasn't, so we've got some of this coming our way. If we're being real, the average altcoin last cycle, we're going to go from the 6 months before this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. The average altcoin did a 13x in their last 6 months. Okay? Oh, but I'm doing it from December, not from October. So it would be more like 4 months then. Let's say 4 months. I see where my logic was wrong. 4 months. We did a 9x, almost a 10x. Let's just say a 9x though. If we were to do a 9x from 20 cents, let's even do half of that. Let's do, would it be like this? That would still put us right around $1. 9x in itself would put us right around $2. Does it make sense what I'm trying to say here? I feel like I'm not doing it the best, but I'm just trying to illustrate that when alt season kicks off, even if we're only at 26 to 32 cents by the end of this year, we are statistically probable to see a 70x overall from this current price or higher, dramatically higher. In fact, if we were to go just basing it off of last cycle's shenanigans, that'd be 171x overall if we were to approach $2, getting up into this money zone range. And I really do think we will. Again, it doesn't really make sense to stop here. It doesn't really make sense to stop in between these two fibs. You'll either stop just above this fib or right at this one. I think it makes a lot more sense we'd stop somewhere probably in this area rather than anything below, but time will tell. And again, this is mainly for the people who might be concerned if it's the end of October and we're only here. Who cares? Let it take till the end of the year to get to 26 and 32 cents. We still have more than enough time, more than enough oomph left in the cycle. It's the ending parts that's the best part typically. And we're going to sing Kumbaya with champagne and sunsets on a cruise. I don't know. Anyways, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all. Take care. Bye-bye.